Here's my unpopular opinion. Your teenager does not need to be more confident. They need a system that works under pressure, because confidence is a terrible plan. And I'm going to say something that sounds impossible, but I can usually tell if it's pressure or technique without seeing a single stroke. And if you're a swim parent with a competitive teenager training at least 5 times a week, chasing big cuts, big meets, maybe even representing their country at international competitions one day, this video can save you months of chasing the wrong fix. When you finish the video, you'll have, number 1, a 60-second diagnosis to know what your teenager actually needs. Number 2, the biggest 3 pressure tells that trick parents. And number 3, the first step of the system so you can use it at your next meet. And stick with me here, because near the end, I'll tell you the number 1 thing to say, or more importantly, what not to say so you don't accidentally make their nervous system worse. Quick framework. This is my whole ladder to success. And I learned that from the sports psychologist of Michael Phelps. It was one of the first lessons that he taught me when I had the opportunity when I was swimming at the University of Virginia to work with him one-on-one for a full year. So what he said is, here's a heart, which represents your next level of success, whatever that next step up is for your teenager. And he said there is a ladder that leads to that success. And the ladder has 3 parts. It has a left leg, it has a right leg, and it has a middle part. And he said all parts of that ladder stand for the only 3 things that we swimmers can train. So what are they? Number 1, the left leg is a swimmer can train their body. Number 2, the right leg, a swimmer can train their technique. And number 3, the middle part, the swimmer can train the mind. And so what he said is, what's important to understand is that we need to have all 3, the body, the technique, and the mind at a high level at the same time to reach the next level of success. So let me give you an example. If you have somebody who is mentally the strongest kid in the world and they have incredible technique, but they have the flu or they have a broken shoulder, it's not going to go very well. The second case would be that they're mentally super strong, Michael Phelps strong, their body is dialed in, they've been training super hard, but last night they changed their entire breaststroke technique. It's also not going to go very well because they haven't integrated the new technique yet, right? And then the third case is where we know that the body is trained, the technique is dialed in. Maybe it's not world class, but it's totally capable of the next level of success. How do we know? Because they do it in training. But then what happens is that the mind breaks down in competition. So in a way, their limiting factor is then the mind. And they will never swim at their full potential if their mind is putting on the handbrakes. So the body is the engine, the technique is the vehicle, and then the mind is the access key, whether they can use that engine and that vehicle when the pressure spikes. So if your teenager looks amazing from Monday to Friday and then on Saturday shows up and it's like someone pulled the handbrake, I'm not starting with technique. I'm checking the mind first. And let me prove that to you in under a minute. Grab a notepad or just keep mental score. This is the pressure versus technique test. Give yourself 1 point for each yes. Number 1, in practice, the speed is there, but at meets it disappears. They can hit race pace in training, they can hold the splits, they look smooth, but then at meets, suddenly they're off. Number 2 is it only shows up when it matters. Finals, big heats, qualification meets, rivals next to them, scouts from America, their expectations. The bigger it is, the tighter they get. Number 3 is warm-up looks great, but the race looks tight. You watch warm-up and you think, we're good. And then the race happens and it's rushed and tense. Number 4 is the harder they try, the worse they swim. Effort goes up, time gets worse. That's rarely technique, that's tension. And number 5 is after a race, they can't explain it. I don't know what happened, the spiral, they get ashamed, feel guilty, or they just go cold and distant and go whatever. Okay, so now score it 0 to 1, probably technique or body. If you got 2 to 3, could be mixed. And if it's a 4 or 5, this is almost always pressure. And here's a trap. Pressure problems look like technique problems. So parents double down on stroke fixes. Coaches add more cues. Everyone talks more. And then the teenagers tighten up even more. Now let me show you what happens. Pressure flips the nervous system into threat mode, into danger mode. And that danger mode does three things that destroy speed. Number one, the muscles tighten, especially around the neck and shoulder area. Number two, the breathing gets rushed. And number three, the focus gets very narrow and frantic. So what does it look like? It looks like bad technique, shorter stroke, choppy tempo, sloppy turns, bad underwaters, that panicky sprinting feeling, no game plan. But what's actually happening is that they can't access their technique under stress. It's the same swimmer, same skill, but a different nervous system. So what do? Here's the first step of the system, something that you can use at your next meet, and it takes about 45 seconds max. This is a pre-race reset, and this is not calm down. This is get into your race ready state. So number one is you want to name the state. Is it green, yellow, or red? Green means they're ready. Yellow means they're jittery. And then red means panic or shutdown. And your teenager doesn't need a speech. They need clarity. What state am I in? And then step two is they do 15 to 30 seconds of conscious breathing. The short version is just slow exhale, because the exhale tells the body we're safe and we can perform, right? And if you want the exact breathing technique that Michael Phelps used before all of his races, I got it from the same sports psychologist that was coaching Phelps for over a decade. Join the free school group, and the link is in the description below. And then step three is simply you want to anchor that race ready state, a tiny ritual like a goggle tap, a cap press, touching the water bottle, anything consistent, because under pressure, the brain loves a ritual. Ritual turns chaos into a script. Now, here's the part most swim parents don't want to hear. You cannot train your teenager's nervous system for them. You can't swim the race for them. You can't breathe for them. You can't talk them into being calm. But you can do something incredibly powerful. You can stop poking the bear right before they race. So here's what I want you to stop saying, especially in big meets. Don't say, "Are you nervous?" Because you just gave their brain a new job, which is scanning for danger. Don't say, "Just relax," because now they feel broken if they can't relax. Don't say, "You need this time," or "This is the one." That's not motivation. That is a threat. Don't say, "Remember what the coach said?" Meet day is not the time for a lecture. And the sneakiest one is don't say, "Hey, no pressure," because the moment you say it, pressure becomes the main topic in their heads. If your teenager is already in yellow or red, more words don't help. More words is just more noise. And in that moment, your job isn't to fix their brain. Your job is to protect the environment so this system, their system, can settle and do its job. So what should you say? Honestly, most of the time, the best move is nothing. Just be calm presence. But if you want a safe line that almost never backfires, use one of these. These are my favorites. "I love you. No matter what, I'm proud of you." And stop talking. And if you're texting because you're not with them, the best pre-race text is literally, "I love you, have fun racing." That's it. No times, no strategy, no "you got this," just love and permission to really go for it. So to close the loop, if your teenager trains at least 5 times a week, looks great in practice, but then just kind of tightens up at meets, especially big moments, that's not a technique mystery. That's the mind in the ladder to success. Body, technique, and mind. They all go together, and they have to train the mind. They have to train their nervous system. And your role is really simple. Don't add threat. Don't add noise. Don't grab the steering wheel. If you want this to be stupidly simple, I put the exact not to say list, the pre-race reset, the Michael Phelps breathing technique, checklists inside the free Swimpros Skool group. Grab it, screenshot it, and use it at your next meet. And all you have to do is follow the link in the description, create a school profile, and then join the group. and I'll show you everything on the inside. And if you want the next step, watch the next video with the Michael Phelps breathing technique here, because that's what we use when the teenager is in yellow or in red, because championship swims are won or lost under pressure.